What the heck is a Jackwadrose? I probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but I seriously want to know what that is, because that is a weird name. I don't think I ever saw that come up during the journey. Oh, by the way, I gave the quick pumps to Yukari. They were indeed female exclusive. Okay, you can't use that. I wonder if that's Metis or Aigis equipment, because I never saw that during the journey. It is Metis exclusive, I thought so. Resist Pierce Medium? Well, it's better defensively than her previous armor, so I might as well give her that. Okay, Titania leveled up and got Ice Amp. I'm not sure if I really want this though. I like Divine Grace and Mediarama, and even though I technically don't need Growth 2 anymore, so back during the journey, I'd often get rid of the Growth skills once my persona had learned all of their abilities. But during the answer, I feel like it's better to keep those because they can be passed down via inheritance, and growth skills are so much more useful here due to the lack of social links, so I'd rather keep that, and there's really not many skills that I want to get rid of, so I'm sorry, Ice Amp, but you have to go. You know, I just saw a line of navigation flash up on screen that was probably the Reaper coming, so I picked a very good time to get out of that floor. So here I am just before the boss, and the team that I'm going with here is Metis, Yukari, and Koromaru. Now, I wanted to use Yukari and Koromaru next anyway because they were behind in experience. Turns out, though, I want to use them for this fight regardless. The reason why Metis is here, there's an enemy in this fight that's weak to ice. However, two of the bosses here use fire, so Mitsuru was a no-go. As for Koromaru, there are some enemies here that are weak to fire, but Koromaru is not weak to any attack that the boss has. One of the bosses covers all four main elements, so nobody's really safe from weakness hits, except for Ken, Koromaru, and Metis. Yukari is here mostly as a healer, and because she needed more experience. But speaking of that, I was lucky enough to run into a more enemies floor on the way here, so Yukari and Koromaru, they at least caught up a little bit. As for which personas I'll be going into the fight with, Mott, yes, you have Null Fear. I might actually be sticking with Mott for this entire fight, or at least whenever I hit a weakness with someone, I might switch back to Mott. Reason being, this boss has the Evil Smile Ghastly Whale combo. So Null Fear is gonna be amazing. Okay, here we go. It's time to meet an old foe who's learned some new tricks. And by old, I mean a very old foe. I love this boss for one very specific reason. Just as the last boss was all Priestess Shadows, this one is all Magician Shadows. We have here the Wondrous Magus, Crying Table, and would you believe it, Cowardly Maya. The weakest enemy from the journey is now a boss in the answer. I love that they did this. And the Cowardly Maya is no weakling in this fight either, it's actually pretty dangerous. The first one that I want to scan here, though, is the Crying Table. It can use Makarakan, and if that's up, I can't hit the weaknesses of anything in this fight, so I'm going to go for you first.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Now, as you can tell, the Crying Table uses fire. The Cowardly Maya has a bit of fire as well, but it's mainly a supporter. The Wondrous Magus has every element, except for light and dark. So, gonna go for you, and then as far as tactics are concerned, I'll probably want to put Metis on knockdown eventually, but not while Makarakan is up, so I'll have to think about that. Yukari, I'm going to just set you to healing for the moment. And for the time being, let's just target that.
Understood.
And I do have, okay, yeah, I should probably keep my Null Fear going. So for now, I'm not going to be going for any weaknesses. I might go for a Sutra here. Let's go for the Fierce Sutra.
Take this.
Of course, was already in effect on Aigis. And there's Maragion. Good thing we got Koromaru here. Uh-oh. That's probably a bad idea. Yeah, using fire on something that uses fire itself is usually not good. So, the Crying Table, this thing is weak to ice. It annoyingly has dodge ice, but not evade ice. It reflects electricity and absorbs fire. Wind is neutral. And it absorbs strikes, but, okay, so I have to watch out for Metis' physical attacks here. It has fire, it has Life Drain and Spirit Drain to be annoying, and it also has Makarakan and Evil Smile. Now that works in combination with something else in this fight, but the main reason why I don't like it is Makarakan and oh boy. I'm not too worried about this because I can just cure it with Maypatra gems. So really not that bothered by it. And now Metis is going to go for this thing's weakness, which is good. I don't know whether I should put one knockdown or not.
It's a tough one.
Okay, so that's Twin Shot.
Hang in there.
The Cowardly Maya is not... Oh, hey, Yukari can do that. That's cool. Forgot you could do that. The Cowardly Maya is not that big of a threat on its own, but it does have some fairly dangerous support moves. I'm going to go ahead and scan the Wondrous Magus next, though.
Give me a sec. I'll
That
scan
thing
the
is
target.
weak to fire, but it's not as high of a priority right now, I feel. Okay, so we're currently attack buffed. I'm still gonna keep going for this. Okay, there's Evil Smile. I guess it's immune to it, but the same can't be said of everyone else, and oh no, Metis might be dead. Wondrous Magus, like I said, has every element. It's weak to ice, it has dodge ice, not evade ice. And its ice attacks are slightly stronger than its other elements. Well, most Magus are specialized in ice, so that's kind of fitting, because of its amp skill. But other than that, it's a pretty standard magic user, but it also has some status. Yeah, see, there's my Zeodyne. Good thing Yukari has Dodge Elect going. Okay, Metis is probably... No, she's not too afraid to use her attacks, which is good. But I'm definitely going to need to heal soon.
Keep going.
And now she's too afraid to use her attacks. And, well, now she's too dead to use her attacks.
Hang in there.
That's the main threat of the Cowardly Maya in this fight. Unfortunately, you probably would have used Mediarama if you hadn't needed to do that. Okay, that thing is down. So yeah, it has Fear, and the Cowardly Maya, which is actually kind of funny that it's living up to its namesake by making us cowardly.
Give me a sec. I'll scan
It
the
also
target.
has Fear, so if that thing is still down, I don't need to worry about it inflicting us with Fear, and then, yeah, so I don't have to worry about getting Fear, Ghastly Welt in the same turn, so it is safe for me to switch off of Mott and go to Titania here and use Mediarama. That's my thought process. That was all leading to something.
Move.
Let's see. I could try and hit a weakness on the Cowardly Maya, but... yeah, so that thing is weak to fire, and these are weak to ice. And I think I'm probably fine with my tactics here. Hopefully none of them are going to try and physically attack Koromaru while he's shocked. And yes, you're standing up. And here is the Cowardly Maya. This is definitely not the same Cowardly Maya that we saw during the journey, not by a long shot. It has Ghastly Wail to instantly kill anyone who has Fear. It also can nullify your buffs or debuffs, I'm surprised it hasn't done that yet. And it can also cure allies who have been knocked down, and dispel status, and it also has Ice Amp, but it only has Bufala, so it's not really that strong. And it also has lower odds of being critical, so this thing's kind of a mixed bag of skills. Okay, thankfully you've recovered. Okay, good, yeah, I'm not giving you a turn, which is good. I'm not too bothered by that. That hurts a bit, but not as much as it normally would if it was like, say, Ice Amped Bufferdine.
It's a tough one.
Well, at least she knows not to hit the, table with strike attacks. I suppose punching a table wouldn't really do much good normally. And attack is back, and defense is back. Gotta watch out for that. So, let's see how things... Okay, I probably want that table to go down this turn. Here's the thing though, if I go for Bufala and it dodges, then I won't be able to switch to Mott, and thus I run the risk of being Ghastly Wailed. So maybe it's best to just play this safe. I'm gonna just play it safe here. As long as you have a persona with Null Fear, Ghastly Whale is not much of a threat to you. I'm really surprised you haven't used Makarakan, and you did in that turn, which is good, so I didn't eat my words. I'm kind of worried about Aigis' health at the moment. Not too worried about that. And that's fine. So that turn wasn't particularly bad for us, which is good. And yeah, that's what I was worried about if I was staying on Titania.
Hang in there.
That's probably... Yes, it is Ancient Aigis. That's great. So, let's see how this goes. That thing is still going next. It's slowly going down. Just trying to think who I want to get rid of next. The Cowardly Maya or the Wondrous Magus. The Wondrous Magus is more of a threat offensively, but the Cowardly Maya could potentially fear Ghastly Whale us if things don't go right. So... I could probably stand to use another Fierce Sutra. Should I really, though? Maybe I should just go for a Protection Sutra. There are a few things I could do here. I'm kind of saving the Mega Dollar on Gem for an emergency. No, I think I'm just going to attack the table. Oh, no, Life Drain. Did that do exactly as much damage as I did to it? That's kind of strange. I still love the way Magus will just slap you with that weird laugh. Okay, I'm not too worried about that because Yukari will probably end up healing. And no cut-in, so this might have missed. No, it didn't. Good. So that thing is slowly going down. Yeah, its health is running low, so I think that's why it's starting to use Life Drain.
I won't lose.
I had a feeling that was aimed at yourself. Thankfully, Aigis has her Regenerate skill up, but... Yeah, if Aigis gets Archidine by that thing, and then the Magus uses another Dying spell, she's probably going to die. But if I switch to Titania, Aigis might, but I still want to keep hammering that thing, because now it's using Life Drain, so every turn that I spend not hitting it is a turn that it's potentially staying in the fight longer. But you know what? I'm gonna just heal Aigis a little bit.
Take this.
Don't really need a bead right now.
Yukari,
Okay, that was aimed at someone else, and wow, that was painful. Well, thankfully this thing is just using Tentarafu rather than actually doing anything productive. I'm surprised you didn't do that earlier. It's like thinking, oh wait, now I should probably be using Fire Break. That thing is almost gone though. Now I really hope Yukari heals herself instead of using, okay, good, she did. Because I'm actually not too worried about Aigis panicking. I'm not using her skills very much in this fight. I'm mainly using personas for their immunities, namely the Fear immunity.
calm yourself down.
Well, the best way I find to calm myself down is to shoot a table! No. Actually, that's, kind of disturbing now that I think about it. Is that thing? Yes, it's gone. Okay, good. Alright then, okay.
Someone help.
And it's everyone gang up on Metastay.
Roger, changing plans.
She's actually not going to because that's not going to override her choice of tactic. And thank you for that, Yukari. That is one annoying thing about putting people on heal/support. Really, with how much SP Yukari has, I'd rather her just be using Mediarama every turn. Okay, now I need to change my tactics. Again, it's the issue of who do I get rid of next, because that thing's more powerful, but that thing could potentially fear Ghastly Whale us. Actually, I think let's get rid of the Magus next. And I think, yeah, Metis will go for the Magus as well. And that missed entirely. Okay, let's go! You know what? Now that... Oh, wow. Maybe I shouldn't have said that the, Maya is not a threat.
It's a tough one. I can't lose.
Yeah, because panic increases crit ratio, so that's kind of bad as well. Maybe I should use a Maypap. Well, actually, only 2 of us are panicking now. So, now that both the enemies left are weak to fire, Koromaru is actually going to go on knockdown. And now, I think... Oh, yeah, Yukari is still almost down. That thing can't actually, Ghastly Wail us in the same turn that it uses Fear, because it's the only thing left. I'm going to go ahead and do this, because I really need it. I do want to cure Panic on those two. Kind of forgot about the side effect of Panic increasing crit ratio of enemies. You should probably just be using your multi-targeting skills, but oh well. And you're an idiot. And you are still the Cowardly Maya, just doing what you normally do.
I won't lose. I couldn't defeat it.
You know what? I'm just gonna go for fire now.
The enemy is down. Now's your chance.
The problem with risking getting hit with Fear, though, is if Aigis gets hit with Fear, she might not get a chance to switch personas to Mott.
All right, sister. Let's get him.
But I might be able to just keep everything knocked down and all-out attacks constantly, so yeah. So I think my strategy of take out the table first was a good thing. Because that was the one thing here that wasn't weak to fire. Good, now go for the other one, and if you actually hit, we might be able to finish this fight now. I wonder if we actually will, though. The Magus may survive. The Cowardly Maya is almost certain to die to this. Okay, well, one of them survived, because I can see people being knocked back. Oh, hey, they both survived, but just barely. And that's part of why I designated the Magus as the highest priority here. Okay, that's decent. And that thing is gone.
I can't lose. Just one more.
So only one more left and it has pretty much no HP.
Seriously hurt.
But just to be safe, I'm going to do this. With Divine Grace, this is pretty much as good as Medea Rahan at this point in the game. And now, hopefully, you die. There we go. So, that fight wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Null Fear definitely helps, though. If you don't have that, that could be a problem. And yeah, Aigis is definitely over-leveled for this point in the game, but that's just kind of par for the course for a Persona protagonist. Oh, also, Orset just leveled up, even though I don't really plan on using you very much. Cool Breeze is, if I remember correctly, not that bad, so maybe I can keep you until you learn that. Let me see if anyone else leveled up from that fight, because that was a lot of experience that we got from that. Yeah, in fact, everyone leveled up once. So, that boss wasn't too bad. Let's check out our rewards here. Yes, I want more of those. You can never have too many of those, and you can also never have too many of those, so that was great. That was really great. I think the party that I chose did really well there. So, let's go back. After putting the Cowardly Maya in its place. I do admit, it earned respect points for actually becoming a boss, but it still wasn't that big of a well, I mean, admittedly, it did Ghastly Wail someone, so that's something. So, I'm going to save here, even though that wasn't a particularly tough boss. I like to save after every boss anyway. And then we will head down further into the Abyss of Time. And I have been looking forward to this. The next area actually has a new graphical style, finally. So, see you for that.